K-pop has a lip syncing problem and it's gotten really, really bad. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but sometimes I'll see an idol or a group live performance and I'll be like, oh, they sound really good live. That's nice. And then I'll think about it for a few seconds, or I'll go to the comments of the video and then I'll realize that it was lip synced and it was all a lie.
I trusted you!
So now every time I see a live performance, I'm always questioning if they're singing live or if they're lip syncing, and I can't even enjoy the performance fully because my mind is just racing. Back when I was a young, innocent, new K-pop fan, I always assumed that they were just singing live, but now I've been hurt, and now I know not to trust anyone or anything. I think we all know that idols rarely sing live anymore, and if they do, it's covered by loud backing vocals, so it's hard to hear them anyways. So I really just want to use this video as an opportunity to complain about it because it's something that really annoys me. Like, it should not take an FBI investigation to find live vocals for groups. So just a disclaimer, I'll be bringing up specific groups as examples, but any examples that I do bring up isn't hate to the group because it's probably not in their control whether or not they lip sync. But if I sound annoyed towards them, it's because I really like their music and I want to hear it live. So first, I want to play devil's advocate a little bit and talk about the defenses of lip syncing and why idols would lip sync and how it's justifiable. K-pop idols have comebacks pretty often and they do a lot of performances and promotion for each comeback, and some of these songs have very intense parts and high notes, so I bet having to sing live every performance would cause some damage to their vocal cords, and I personally would not want that. Like, imagine if NMIXX in Winter had to sing those high notes in Savage days in a row. Like, just thinking about that makes my throat hurt. And also, the choreo for some of these songs are very intense, and I think as K-pop has evolved, the choreo that these idols have to do have become more and more complicated, so it totally makes sense that they don't sing live or have a loud backing track because it's probably very tiring to have to do both at once. Like, I get out of breath when I go up the stairs, so I understand. Like, imagine having to do the choreo for Black Mamba and singing at the same time. Like, that's just ridiculous. But it does make me appreciate idols of the past and present who do sing live while doing choreo. So lip syncing was definitely a thing in past K-pop generations, but I feel like you could still hear the idols singing live. Like, it wasn't a mission to find performances with actual live vocals like it is now. Like, for example, Girls' Generation performances from their earlier days, they were definitely live, and you could hear them singing even with their backing vocals. Their performances weren't perfect, but that's totally understandable because they're dancing. But I could at least trust that it was live vocals. Or maybe I'm being manipulated by past generations too. I really don't know anymore. I don't know who to trust. Another example is this great but very confusing 2 PM performance. Like, why is Taeseon falling into the crowd and scaring this poor woman? I don't understand this performance, but I love it all the same. And just to give the current generation its due, current example of a group that does sing live for most of their performances is stayc. So they're a group that's been praised pretty often for their live vocals, and they do have backing vocals, but you can usually hear them singing over it, which I really respect. So I definitely understand the need to lip sync or have backing vocals for very intense performances and songs with very intense choreography, but there are some situations where I don't think it's justified at all, and it literally makes no sense why they're lip syncing. Okay, sorry, before I get back to my rant, like and subscribe to my channel for more K-drama and K-pop content, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a video. Okay, back to my ramble. So there have been some instances where idols have been caught lip syncing in performances where they're not even doing choreo and they're just standing or sitting down. Like, for what reason are you lip syncing? So one example that went pretty viral a few months ago was IVE's Wonyoung and Leeso. They sang IU Strawberry Moon and it was pretty obvious that they were lip syncing. Like, look at this part. Like, can you be a little more convincing? Like, it's so clear you're lip syncing. And also, I don't know if it was just me, but it sounded a little auto-tuned. You're trying to do a more intimate, chill, sitting down performance, and you still have to lip sync? Like, why? Like, I get it when you're dancing. Okay, like, that's tiring. But what is so tiring about sitting and singing? And you'd think that this whole lip syncing issue only affected groups with weaker vocals, but it's even getting to groups that have very strong vocals. A group like Aespa, for example. Now, Aespa is a group that's notorious for lip syncing, which literally makes zero sense to me because we all know that they're really good singers. Like, if you go look at their Dreams Come True B-roll recordings, like, they sound really good, so I don't get why they're lip syncing in all of their performances. But yeah, like, NMIXX isn't even trying to hide the fact that she's lip syncing. Like, she's tired of it. She just wants to sing. SM, you will pay for your crimes, okay? Let her sing. Free her vocal cords. They actually did finally have a performance where they did sing live. At least I think it was live. And it sounded really good, so I don't get it. Like, why are we at the point where good vocalists aren't able to sing live either? Like, what's the point? They're singers. Let them sing. I don't get it. And now we've gotten to the point where idols and groups are even lip syncing on radio shows. Like, what? Like, I just watched a 13-minute video showing many groups and idols lip syncing on radio shows, which should probably be one of the easiest places to sing live. Like, there's no choreo required. You don't even have to wear fancy outfits. You just have to stand there and sing. Like, I don't get it. The fact that we even have videos dissecting K-pop idols and when they do and don't lip sync is just very concerning. Like, how far have we gone as a society that idols can't even sing and do their job on a radio show? Even idols who are known for really good vocals, like Lily from NMIXX, they're lip syncing on radio shows too. Like, why? Like, we know they can sing. I don't understand. And sometimes I'll get really desperate and I'll be like, okay, I really want to see the raw live vocals of these groups. So I'll look up the B-roll of their recording studios because, you know, if it's from the recording itself, it should be live, right? But even those things, sometimes they'll just put the actual song over the idol recording their song. Like, for what reason? If I wanted to hear the final edited song, I would just go listen to the song itself. Here's a recent example that I can think of. I was watching the B-roll video for Twice because I wanted to hear some of the members who don't get as much attention vocally, but instead of putting the actual vocals, they just put the song over their parts, with the exception of members like Nayeon and Jihyo, who are more known for their vocals. And with Twice, I totally understand why they don't put live vocals or raw vocals out there because of the whole encore controversy that they had a few years ago. But even if they're not the best singers, they still have some vocal talent, right? Like, let me hear some of it at least. And after a controversy like that, doesn't that motivate you to help them become better vocally? Like, I don't get it. Why are you trying so hard to hide their raw vocals? Like, the fact that you're so desperate to hide these idols' vocals just puts a spotlight on them even more. And it shows that you as a company aren't even confident in the idols that you trained. Like, what does that say about your company? But shout out to Nayeon for putting her B-roll videos for her solos. Like, those were raw vocals and she sounded really good. And this whole B-roll issue that I have just makes me appreciate groups like Red Velvet that put their whole B-roll in their videos. And as far as I can tell, those vocals are completely live and raw. And also stayc, like I mentioned before, who's known for their live vocals, they always put their B-rolls for their singles and they always sound really good. And something that I appreciate with them is that they always put the mistakes too. Like, we see them get uncomfortable with certain notes in their songs, and that just makes me appreciate all the work they put in even more. And it's even gotten to the point where there's so much technology and different types of backing vocals that groups can use to make them sound like they're singing live. So we have live AR or LAR, which is when the groups will pre-record vocals for a song and then they'll add breathing to make it sound live. Not actually singing live, but pretending it's live. This is some master manipulation at its finest. Like, how far have we gone that we're adding in breathing to make something sound live? Like, I'd rather you just blatantly lip sync instead of manipulating me like this. One example of this that comes to mind to me is Got the Beat with their song Step Back. I remember watching some of the live performances and I noticed that it sounded different from the actual song and that there was some breathing in there, and I was like, wow, they actually sound really good live, and I was impressed. Only to find out that it was pre-recorded. This was a clown moment for me, I'm not gonna lie. I felt very stupid, and I don't like feeling stupid.
I trusted you!
I think all of this just boils down to the K-pop industry's obsession with perfection. Like, idols aren't allowed to make mistakes in their performances, and that includes vocally. This obsession with perfection has partially allowed the industry to get to the point where it is today, which is very successful and well loved across the world. But I think it's also led to some very toxic practices in the industry. Restrictive diets, intense workout regimens, long work hours, and even here with perfect, mistake-free vocals, even if it comes at the cost of some of the fan experience. And all of this just makes me appreciate older generations that were more stripped back and imperfect, but at least somewhat more attainable and a little more realistic. Bring me back to the days where idols were singing live and doing push-ups at the same time. At least we still have encores, right? Those are live, I'm pretty sure. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this lip syncing disease that is going around K-pop. Does it bother you as much as it bothers me, or am I just crazy? I don't know. Also, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a video.